2020, worst year in history, worst year anyone's ever had. Nothing was ever worse than 2020. Definitely. Definitely no year like within the 1940s. All that was good. Nothing bad happened then. But 2020, worst year in history. But things went pretty good for me, honestly. I'll sort of cut this in half, I guess. I'll talk about my career and then more personally. So, career wise, I got a raise. I got a raise at my day job. I was supposed to get a promotion with it, and the raise wasn't quite what I wanted. I've talked about this in my other video, my 6 months ago. I said I would do it again. Yeah, my year so far. Here we are at the end of the year. This is the follow up, I guess. But I mentioned I got a raise. I was supposed to get a promotion. Didn't quite get promoted, but didn't have to take on extra responsibility. So that's, you take what you can get. Over the last year, I've uploaded consistently, and my subs didn't quite double. I increased my subs by like a third. So I had 2/3 of the subs I have now at the beginning of the year, I think. And it's baffling to look at what gets views, because right here, how to be an e-boy, that was the most work I ever put into a video. That video took days and days and days to make. Okay, 47 views as of this recording. A video I took while I was at work and sad in between customers has 516 views when it's just my face and I'm talking. So I've gained some subs. Maybe looking at it empirically, really, how many subs I'm getting and getting views, like that's a lot of views for me. 516, honestly, that's a lot of views. If you look, just looking at some of these, if you look at gaming videos versus my like miscellaneous Monday videos, I call them. Like, let's just take this week here. Every Cold Steel folder I own, 87 views over a month. Morrowind video, 11 views. Paper Mario video, 7 views. Then on Monday, What Men Want, 28 views. Do I Have a Woman Brain? 32 views. So my gaming videos don't get a whole lot of views. You can't do anything about that. Look, my 8 values test video, 44 views. The grand finale of Paper Mario, 5 views. I really want this to fundamentally be a gaming channel, but no one watches them. I'm still going to do them. I'm just not going to put as much focus into them. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time making the gaming videos. I'm going to try to make more philosophy videos, because those seem to do better. Like the topical videos, I suppose. Friggin' a video I took on my phone late at night at work. 516 views. Some guy said I look like a subhuman. You know what, dude? Whatever. I'm gonna mog you. So, I don't know how clear I make this, or if I really mention this, but what I really want to do with my life, like, I'm making these YouTube videos to kind of attempt to build a fan base for myself, I guess, to build a platform, because I actually want to be a writer. I want to write stuff. So I'm starting to put out writing content, like reacting to the first book I ever wrote, reacting to the second book I ever wrote, and what does the word ubiquitous mean? The third book I ever wrote. Which has more views somehow. So I want to be a writer, and I'm putting out this writing content to kind of prime the pump for that, I guess. And if I'm being honest, I just told someone that my writing career has lasted 13 years. Like, I've been writing stuff for 13 years. So honestly, it's time to put something out. If I can be honest for a minute, I really feel like I am stunted by about 5 years. So, where I am in life right now would have been acceptable when I was 21. I'm 26 now. So, the level of money I have in the bank, the uh, the kind of job I have, the job I'm working now, I should have been working at 21. I should have progressed beyond that. When I was 21, I don't even think I had a job. Oh, yeah, when I was 21, I had a similar job, but I was getting paid a lot less. The level of writing I'm at should have been what it is now when I was 21. The kind of videos I'm putting out, I should have been making when I was 21. So I feel like I feel like I'm stunted by about 5 years in my personal development. So I have a lot of catching up to do, a lot of work to put in. But looking back, it's been I started seriously taking my writing seriously and putting in the work, putting in the man hours and putting in the writing time. And over that time, I've probably written, drafted, edited maybe like 200,000 words, maybe more. So it's time. It's time to start putting stuff out. I've told myself that I would pour myself into my writing career instead of accruing debt and going to college. Because I don't really think you can go to college if you're going to be an engineer or a doctor or something you actually need an education for. I don't need to accrue $80,000 in debt to be a writer. I need to write and get better at it. So I've been doing that for the past few years, putting in the work. And this would be going into my 4th year of doing this seriously, consistently putting in the work. So it's time to start putting stuff out. So I decided, what can I do that's different? What can I do that's not really, that no one else is really doing that I know of? So I was thinking about manga and how manga is put out serially every week. There's a new chapter every week. I'm like, what if I did that? What if I did that with my writing? What if I had short, dynamic, engaging chapters that I put out each week? But that doesn't apply to anything I've written, so that I had written at that point. I like a slow storytelling style. So I couldn't just take one of my books because one chapter of my book would probably take an hour. Would probably take an hour to read, like a regular person, I guess. If they were to read as fast as they talk. So I've had this character for a few years. Let me plug it right now. This is gonna be what I'm putting out. Honestly, this is not the best cover. This is not the best thumbnail. But I'm a one-man team. I'm a one-man show here. I'm doing what I can. This is what I got. So I'm going to be putting it. I'm going to read for you this thing that I wrote over the last couple of months that I've titled "The Girl with the Guns." It'll be on Spotify, an audio version, and I'm gonna put the text version on Wattpad as a good friend of mine calls it. It's about this girl who is kind of crazy, and I don't want Harley Quinn to come into your mind. Not Harley Quinn or Jinx or Himiko Toga. This girl is kind of like an action hero, an 80s action hero, but she's still a girl. She's not the empowered female. I'm sorry, female is a curse word. I didn't mean to say that. the empowered woman of the 21st century, who has abandoned all of her feminine virtues and feminine attributes. She's still a girl, and she still has things that are girly about her, feminine desires. And she meets this guy who is honestly kind of a soy boy. She meets this guy who's a soy boy, and then the story is kind of a reverse Beauty and the Beast, where she turns, instead of the beauty taming the beauty turns the guy into the beast, into the beast he was always supposed to be. So this story is about this girl who's violent and brash and kills. She's like a mass murderer. Uh, a good guy, arguably a good guy, but she's a mass murderer. She kind of has to change his mind to turn him not into a soy boy, to turn him into a man, I guess. So I'll read a little preview of this. This is going to be coming out on the first week of January. I'm going to start uploading this. There's 15 chapters of this, and so that'll take us a few months. I think it might be seasonal, so I'll put out 15 chapters starting in January, and then another 15 chapters starting in July. We'll see how it does. So I'll just read this for you. Anyway, the bank was busy, and it seemed like I was the last to arrive in the morning rush. So I stood in line for a half hour. The architecture was interesting and extravagant. Lots of granite. I was a little distracted, if I'm being honest. But once the crowd cleared and I was about fifth in line, I noticed the girl from the cafe, the health inspector, with her purple hoodie. She was at the teller's desk. But suddenly, a loud boom, boom, boom rang through the air. 3 loud gunshots. I turned to see what happened, and was met with a smash to the face. I'd never been hit that hard in my life. In a panic, I dropped to the floor immediately and threw my hands on my head. "Everyone get down! You don't move, you don't get shot, you hear?" There were 3 guys in suits that had just walked in the front door. I could only see their legs from where I was standing. "Don't anybody try to be—" And he was cut off by the sound of 6 more shots in groups of 2. Boom, 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 boom. In less than 2 seconds, all 3 men were on the ground. The one I could see had a hole in his forehead, and blood was flowing out like when you pour milk from a carton. The room went silent for a moment. Not even a breath could be heard. When the girl said, "So anyway, I'd like to withdraw $600. So that's how chapter 1 ends. So this is not like the pinnacle of my writing ability. I wanted to have a loose plan and then kind of just grind it out. I didn't want it to be high on detail, high on prose or anything. I wanted to simply put the image in your mind for it to be fast-paced and dynamic, because I usually do slow storytelling. So if this isn't good, if this ends up not being good, sorry guys. This is my first attempt at something like this. Hopefully, hopefully I get better. Hopefully you stick around, because I want to get better. I want to improve, obviously. So this is really my first time trying something like this. So that'll be coming out. This is the main character, the girl. I made this in some cartoon app. Not gonna put this stuff like this into the audiobook episodes when I upload them on YouTube, because this is obviously from some artist, and I don't want to go plagiarizing or anything, because obviously I didn't draw this, but this is kind of what she looks like. Purple hoodie, blue eyes, which is the color scheme. Purple and blue is really her bread and butter. Kind of wavy hair like that, tan skin. And she's really Really, she's the antagonist if you want to look at it that way. The antagonist is the one that drives the plot. The antagonist gives the protagonist reason to act. So in a lot of ways she's the antagonist of the story and the main character. So I like her a lot. She's been in my mind. I actually wrote a screenplay. I wrote a movie screenplay about her, and it was even more ridiculous than what this podcast is going to be. These short weekly stories. She did stuff like toss bags of cocaine into people's faces, and they overdosed immediately and died. It was some crazy stuff. She fought someone with a broken lamp. But yeah, look forward to The Girl with the Guns coming out in January. It's gonna be called Storytime Saturday, and I'm gonna upload those weekly on YouTube. Put them on Spotify. They'll be on Podbean. There'll be all sorts of links in the description. Wattpad. I don't know. I don't know what else to put it on, honestly, because I'm not really a marketing professional. Again, this is a one-man show. So in the beginning of the year, I finished a book that I had started in 2019 called Langy Lark's Luck. I wanted to write a non-canon story, not non-canon, but a side story about this universe that I've been working on. There's these five brothers that show up in the main series called the Lark Brothers. But one of them's name is Langy, and he shows up. He doesn't even have a line in the book, and I decided, hey, this character doesn't have a line. I should flesh him out. So I wrote an entire book about him, and I just finished the second draft of that in earlier this year, and I really finalized it. I think I'm in a spot where I'm happy with it now. It's 34,000 words. It's a 34,000 words, so I guess it qualifies as a novella, and it's about this. It's an isekai where this kid falls through a portal into this strange land, and he has to go on a quest, and he's being cursed by this ghost who can't say anything about himself. So Langy gives him the name Daffy, because he's saying, "What's your name? What's your name?" He goes, "Yeah, I literally can't tell you. I can't tell you." He goes, "Well, if you don't tell me, I'm gonna call you something crazy like Dick, or maybe Daffodil if I'm feeling magnanimous." So Daffodil stuck, and he just called him Daffy for short. And Daffy is something between a ghost and a genie and a stand from JoJo's. Daffy is bound to Langy. They're cursed to be bound to each other because Langy touched a cursed vase when he was exploring a cave one day. And Langy's kind of this. He's a hikikomori, and if you don't know what that is, that's a shut-in, someone who stays in their room all day, and he spends all day in his room practicing spells. He's a novice wizard, and he's haunted by this Jin ghost stand demon thing, and he doesn't get along with him at all. So the story is about them learning to get along with each other, and they really don't. They never do. But they learn to work together, kind of. And even then, they never really work together. But it's an interesting dynamic, because Langy is so mild-mannered and calm all the time, and Daffy is so bombastic and brash. And no one can see Daffy but Langy. None of his brothers, his father can't see him. So I'll read you a little bit of this, sort of to show how the story gets started. This is the end of chapter 1. As Langy stumbled through the dark and damp and slippery cave, he heard behind him a bellow, then a hiss. He almost ignored it, but he knew the opportunistic predator would eat him whole if it could. He turned quickly, and luckily it was only half the size of the one Oscar had killed. Still, it was no small beast. Bigger than Langy was, for certain. "Hey, guys!" Langy shouted. to no response other than Daffy. Ha! Well, good luck with this, buddy. Maybe I'll get lucky and it'll kill you, then I can get the hell out of here. Daffy would be of no help, so Langy readied a fire spell and launched it at the beast. He missed, startling the monster and hurting it toward him. He ran, but he slipped on the slick rock and fell right onto the beast. It latched its jaws onto his leg, its sharp, jagged teeth digging deep into his flesh. He was being dragged along the sharp rock. Then suddenly he was falling, and all he saw were stars. He hit the ground softer than he thought he would, though it was hard enough for him to lose his breath. He landed on grass and stared up into a blue, cloudless sky. Daffy hovered above him. A horrified look was draped across his fiery, ghostly face. He was staring at something. Langy followed his eyes to the ghost's leg, which had a number of holes, a bite mark in the same spot as his own leg where the monster was biting him. Daffy quickly folded the Arrowtooth's head in half, snapping its jaw, then smashing it to bits in a matter of seconds. This is bad. This curse is even worse than I imagined. Whoa, kid, stay with me! Lanky wasn't sure why Daffy was saying that. He felt perfectly alert, until his vision began to blur. Oh, right, he slurred. Blood loss. So, I'm a little bit, this is more of my writing style. It's a bit slower, a bit more detailed. Not as much detail as some other people, I'm sure. Let me know if you want to read that. This is something I really just did for fun. And I don't know why I wrote this, because I wanted to, I guess. So if you want to read that, let me know, and I might put that up on Wattpad eventually too, because I think it's kind of good, actually. So lastly, career-wise, and I'm still working on this, I mentioned I got stonewalled earlier in the year with this book that I've tentatively titled John and the Wizard. This is my main series. It's about this guy named John. John's superpower is diet and exercise. So he's a really strong guy, really fast, lots of endurance, and he's kind of dumb. He's kind of a country bumpkin, and he's got anger issues, but he has a strong sense of virtue. So he meets up with this wizard, and this wizard is really the antithesis of John. He's physically feeble, he's very intelligent, and he really doesn't have any moral compass. He doesn't. There's nothing that guides his actions of anything right or wrong. He's kind of an objectivist. He's Machiavellian, really. He does whatever he needs to get ahead in life. But he's charismatic and charming and friendly. It's interesting to see these two go along and go on an adventure together. And then they meet this magical girl named Wendy. I could tell you more about the lore of this universe one day, if anyone's interested, if it ever takes any steam. But this is my main series, and it's honestly, it's hard. It's kind of long. It's almost 3 times as long as Langy Lark's Luck. Almost 3 times. I'm at 64,000 words right now in my 3rd draft, which is the definitive draft. This is going to be the definitive draft. Once this is done, it's done. And I'd like to maybe publish it, but I don't have any sort of following, really. No one would want to read my stuff. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build my brand to get you to read my stuff, Maybe it'll be good. We'll see how things go. But I'd like to, I don't have a lot of time left, honestly. I'd like to finish that by the end of the year. By the end of the year, I'd like to have John and the Wizard finished definitively. Have all the writing for that done. And then maybe I'll try to get it published. Maybe I'll send it to people. Honestly, the story is not about a trans-abled, non-binary lesbian of color. So I don't think it's gonna. It would get published at any like mainstream publisher. I don't think so. That's a roadblock because the main character is a big, muscly man with a strong sense of honor and anger issues. But really, I guess that's all I can say about my career wise, how my year's been going. Personally, you know, I guess I personally I say as in my personal life, I suppose things have been tough. Things have been tough, and you've seen that on my channel that I've kind of been complaining, kind of whining a little bit. There it is, black pill thoughts. I can't say there's been much development since 6 months ago, and I think I told you about this stuff 6 months ago. That there's a lot of reasons for me to feel betrayed by a lot of people that I thought I could depend on, that would always be there, aren't there. They're not there anymore. Looking back, the everything that happened with the pandemic really gave them the out in a lot of ways. I guess it was kind of like frog in the pot that okay, you've been apart from me for this long. You won't miss me when I don't never come back. That's not to say I've been betrayed and by everyone in my life and I don't have any friends. No, I do have friends. As a matter of fact, I think I'm making a little bit of progress friend wise. I'm trying to draw closer to my friends, and I don't want to say helpful, but as I share like myself and my thoughts and emotions, that the way I do that helps them do the same thing, I guess. I don't know how to put it. And there's people that have been faithful friends and servants that have, worked alongside me. And I'm grateful for those people, absolutely. I guess if on one foot you're getting a massage and the other one you're getting hit with a hammer, it's kind of hard to focus on getting the massage because the other foot's getting hit with a hammer. You're more likely to notice the pain, right? But there is good, so I can't you know I can't have a black pill moment here. I am fundamentally white pilled. I would like to think. Speaking of that, Tinder and black pill thoughts. Uh, Honestly, even though these videos here, what men want and do I have a woman brain, I am so frustrated in those videos. But that's because, in a lot of ways, a lot of what I knew to be true was being challenged. Actually, learning how women think has made me more optimistic, even though I spent the entire year single again, didn't even make out with anyone this year. So, once again, single again. But yeah, I've not been black pilled. It's just black pill thoughts and not I'm not fundamentally black pilled. It is an uphill battle. It's an uphill battle. There are things that are keeping me from like being truly happy, I suppose you could say. But I see the light at the end of the tunnel, I feel. I feel like there is light at the end of the tunnel now. where before it just seems so far away. And I suppose in a lot of ways it is still far away, but I know how far away it is. Or I have a good gauge of how many miles the finish line is. And I'll probably be making more videos about that, about that stuff, about my thought process through that. But personally, as far as that goes, you could see that development on my channel, I suppose, if you want to look at these kinds of videos. And really, those are the only videos that get any views on my channel. So I'm probably going to make more of those. I'll probably be making more philosophy videos, talk what I'm interested about. So in conclusion, 2020 didn't actually suck for me. I experienced a lot of the same things you did. Oh, guys, I think I actually got the coof for 2 days, and I tanked it. I don't want to be sharing false information, but taking some zinc, some vitamin D, and some tonic water, I had it for 2 days. I had a little bit of a sore throat for 2 days, and everyone else had it. Everyone else in my house had it. Bad, too. So there's no way I didn't. I got it, and tanked it, and lived. So your boy is alive, and my blood will now be used as the antidote to cure the world. Don't fact check this video. That is, I'm not giving false information. We're talking about something hypothetical, of course. So I did experience a lot of the same anxieties and stress that a lot of you did. There's things to be optimistic about. There's things to be optimistic about. So stay tuned. I want to keep putting stuff out on the channel. I want to keep making stuff. Even though, really, I don't have much of an audience in a lot of ways. Really don't have an audience. So we're going to try different stuff. We're going to try different stuff to try to build an audience. We're not going to quit. We spent the last year putting up 2 gaming videos a week. We're not going to do that anymore. 1 gaming video a week, maybe a little bit longer, because I still like doing it. I'm going to do what I like. But I'll try to put up more philosophy videos. Should I start talking about politics? Some people's opinions don't matter, and I don't want to assume that my opinion matters as far as that goes. And that's not my bread and butter anyway. Like I don't really care about that too much. But anyway, I'm sort of rambling now. So there's a lot of stuff on the channel coming in the future. The end of Morrowind. Morrowind is going to be... Rock Hard Morrowind is going to be ending in 2021. And we were going to play Dark Souls 2, but I hated it, and we're not going to do that. Someone said that I'm even worse than DSP. Look at this guy. He says, and I thought DSP was terrible and full of excuses. Are you serious, dude? You think I'm worse than DSP? To be fair, DSP has a wife and I don't, so it's hard. I guess it's kind of hard to argue. But anyway, yeah, this is my banner, dude. I really imagine if I had like Artsy GF that could help me with channel banner and cover art for my book, dude, so I don't have to friggin' look at that. I can't say that I'm proud of this. I can't say that. But it's what I can do for now. And instead of saying to myself, "Oh, it's bad. It's not any good. I can't put it out." Well, it's never going to get good if you don't do it. So, I'm going to do it. I'm doing it. Anyway, have a happy new year. I want you to know that you are invited to my party. It's fine. It's fine if you don't come. Are we gonna kill it in 2021? Are we gonna do it? I think so. I think we're gonna do good. So here's to a friggin' successful 2021. Who knows? Let's hope that it's not just more of the same, right? Got to be optimistic about it. So happy New Year to you. Go ahead and tell me. Give me your newsletter. What did you do in 2020? What was good? What was good in 2020? Don't just friggin' tell me about the election and the pandemic. I don't want to hear nothing about that. Tell me everything good that happened to you. Leave a comment. Tell me everything good that happened to you down there. Do it now, please.